allegation against me,
Start
which is
the ball
false.
rolling. Without that,
Yeah.
balls can't be rolling to start an allegation of harassment. You know, you've been an ex-policeman. You know exactly how it starts rolling, and that's premeditated by all your team, is it there?
But
Rachel
you're
Corden,
involved in that.
yourself, Sergeant Hunter.
So, do you know Sergeant Hunter on a personal level?
I don't actually think I have ever actually met them.
Why has he come to you asking if you can help him on that? Then?
I started this conversation off by saying to you, because you asked us, why did I do the inquiries into Gorak? I did the inquiries into Gorak as a result of information that it was on the internet saying we're going to be protests at Kinsley or Nottingham or whatever. I did the background into that. I spoke with the promoter at Nottingham, and I went and shared with her the information that I had. She contacted Nottinghamshire Police, and Nottinghamshire Police asked me for information, hence
How come just Nottingham? What did you speak to the promoter at Kinsley and get in touch with their police force and all that? It was about Perham, wasn't it?
No.
Why just Nottingham?
Because Nottingham, that was the way, I think, and you've got the information in front of you, and if I'd known that these were going to be the questions that were going to be asked, I would have got myself some dates and I would have come with some bits of paper. Am I right in thinking that the dates on there are between the proposed Gorak protest at Kinsley and the proposed Gorak protest at Nottingham? I don't know.
Okay.
No, I was asked why Nottingham.
What's black tar?
And
What's
what's
black tart on there? What's all this black tart? What's that and what's that at the bottom?
Again, I would think the blacked out one's my email address.
Has that got GBGB.org on end?
Yeah, the top one. I don't know what the CO is.
What's them 4 lines at the bottom black tart?
I have absolutely no idea.
You sent an email.
How many emails do I send? I have no idea. Absolutely no idea whatsoever. What I'm going to say, I'm quite
You
happy.
know what's quite strange?
No,
is-
hold on.
You know
Hold on.
roughly dates
No,
and that, but not
no,
what his wrote is said.
Hold on,
Go
no,
on.
hold on.
Yeah.
Let's just stop for 1 second. I'm quite happy to answer any questions that you have in relation to this, and I'm quite happy to sit here as long as you want to. I'm not going to answer any questions relating to Police Sergeant Hunter, full stop. Because I understand, as a result of more contact that I've had with Nottinghamshire Police, that there is a formal complaint being made against Police Sergeant Hunter by yourself. And I've been interviewed by Nottinghamshire Police about that. So I don't think that it is appropriate for me to make any comment about what is an ongoing police investigation. Does that seem reasonable?
Well, it's all connected though, isn't it?
Yeah, I
It's
understand
all
that it is
connected.
connected, but I'm not going to go down the
And without
Sergeant
these,
Hunter.
I don't think that had happened up there. Because it just so happens, them 2 promoters that have been speaking, why would Rachel Corden and John Curran, who's on that site what you're on about, come here knowing that we probably sponsoring TV Trophy,
They knew I was going
and they've had all this against them before? Don't you think, hang on, we base our integrity being GBGB board members, you know, this integrity spiel that everybody is, we best keep a low profile and stay away. Not go and book a table outside part of that sponsoring it, that they know the thing is that.
Did they?
It's like us going to Nottingham and Kinsley after all that's kicked off, saying we want a table at restaurant and come in with 18,000 bruisers. They're going to think, hang on a minute.
Did they physically ask for that table? Was there any reason why they were on that?
Right, it were all premeditated, it were all set up, and what I'm very worried about is that your involvement in it, 'cause that's false.
Do you think that I have somehow or other conspired with others to set you up?
Can I answer that? Because I'm on the show. I wouldn't put anything past any member of the GBGB at this moment in time, because there's a lot going on in the GBGB that's wrong. So, for me, I would say yes, it's possible. And I'm probably the one here.
Are you going to supply me with IP addresses then? And unblock that for me?
I will ask Nottinghamshire Police. I assume that...
Why didn't you contact me? You've got my phone number.
Yeah?
Why didn't you contact me and ask me if I were connected with Gorak?
Right. Can I now come in?
Go on then.
Once the police start an investigation, we, GBGB, call it what you will, it's a police investigation. But we have to take back seat. It's why some things take forever to happen.
So you tell
Why are
me...
we here then? Because it's all linked to an ongoing investigation and
No, that-
harassment. Because it's linked here,
Well,
isn't it?
if we want to...
So why are we here if you're getting involved in
You're
that
saying you
scenario?
won't speak about Sergeant Hunter because it's an ongoing investigation,
Well, is it?
which follows what happened here.
Well, see, until we've come into here, I've never linked the two things. I see where you're coming from.
I tell you what,
You
because
what?
you never,
Are you having a laugh?
you've never spoke to any of us.
No.
Yeah, you linked it. Are you having a laugh?
They-
Because...
take-
Right,
take-
listen,
take-
have you read our statement, mine and Gary's?
Yeah.
Right, so, and you've read our statements and you haven't linked that with that.
No.
What are you on about?
You're not a very good investigating officer,
Hey,
isn't
what's
it?
good? Right, if you read me and Gary's statement, it clearly says what Cullen was saying, right? In our statements, which one got at, right? What does it say on there? What's it say on there?
What do you think
I'm mad
you're
after
gonna-
you.
Look,
Listen, just answer it. That statement, what you've
I
just
read
come
it,
out
it
with,
says,
it must
It's-
say
it's
Jeff
a
or
car that
something.
said
Oh, it's
Richard.
Gorak. Oh,
Yeah.
come on.
I
Come on.
will not link the events at Nottingham with the... If you want to link them,
No,
You can't not
what the
link them.
GBGB don't want to do is link them, right? But the obvious, it's so obvious to a blind man
it's
that
got
they
to
are
be linked. But key words: Gorak, Nicholas Wildman, Rachel Corden, Nottinghamshire Police, etc. They all link each other. They're all a part of the same thing. So it's like a copper saying, so and so's got killed over there, they ripped room, but we're not linked them because it don't matter. We don't want to know about that. It's of course they link.
So why aren't they linked then? Tell us why they're not linked.
No, I can... Now we're talking about it. Yeah, I can see it. Hey, look, I'll tell you what it is.
One at a time.
We're not idiots. I mean, we love ground racing. We're not here to destroy ground racing. But what happened is just fundamentally wrong. And the people who've portrayed all this are the ones that are wrong. And yet, Nick especially is being victimised over it.
By two GBGB board members.
Oh,
That's
why is
probably
it
causing trouble.
acceptable
Oh,
for a
well, even-
GBGB or a promoter to point the finger at someone across? He could, if he got a problem with him, he could have tapped him on the shoulder. He can quite happily go to the track management here and say, "Can I borrow a security man just in case anything went wrong?" He could tap him on the shoulder and say, "Excuse me, you're being on the side, you're Gorak. Would you mind taking it down, stopping it, and or not doing anything to me?" But no, he shouts across a crowded restaurant.
Referring you back to that email and look at the... I stand by what I say. I'm not turning around calling you a
Do you think
liar.
you're wrong? Because Nottinghamshire Police have rescinded the harassment letter saying it is that. Do you think you might be wrong now?
I could be.
Could be, or do you
Could be,
think,
could be. Or
could be, or think you are.
Eh?
If police have rescinded it, what's the chance
Yeah.
that
You
you
don't see a
are?
letter that,
So
that's
will you
rescinded
be
it?
sending a letter of apology to
We
me?
get
saying-
our kept
I'll
to
tell
sign
you
his
what, I'll tell you
statement
what,
and
I'll tell
we
you
can-
what it
Yeah.
is.
we're totally untrue, something like
No,
that.
you haven't. Now, right. So, you now have always been of the belief that what happened here at the TV Trophy final was engineered. Why?
We've only believed it since Nick's got correspondence from police and onwards. When we're here and we're up there, not got,
We're oblivious
we're
to
like, what
going
the,
on.
right.
what's going off here?
Yeah, but
I actually just
Well-
thought it was some drunk bloke, and then it was told, I know the name Curran, and when he said, oh, that's Mr. Curran, like, I thought, well, what's a guy with his position behaving like a lout?
What's Curran and Gordon's statement say?
that they were here and they were sitting there and there was, you acted in an aggressive manner and
Well,
few
can I
words.
just say for the benefit of the tape, I was there all the time, I never moved from my seat once in the whole night to go to the toilet, and I saw the first starting of it. Rachel Corden was pointing towards Nick, then the little guy who I didn't know at the time, but later found out it's Miss Curran, was going, go right, and
You know, because obviously when all this...
I've read it in post, so he's the one who's said no. But on one of the emails, Timmy also did state we'll get an Iraqi official as well as an investigator up at Sheffield to take statements, and then obviously that's why I asked you when you found who's coming. He said just me. I went right. I left it at that, but we were expecting probably Duncan Gibson, maybe Barry Faulkner, or an high-ranking official from GBGB to come as well as yourself.
today.
Yeah. Because that's what
That's
he
the way
put.
it read,
Because we made allegations of Jim Snowden intimidating certain people,
Aye.
and we said we don't feel it's right, so we made a complaint against him. That should be kicked off case and that, which is probably why it come to you. And I said I don't feel it's right. So to make sure you didn't get into bother for doing something, same or something, we asked for an high-ranking official to come as well, and he did say we will be sending an high-ranking official as well. On an email, that's on an email. I've got that. They can print that off. But obviously they backtracked on that one, haven't they? And or neshed it. Because it'd be nice to have Duncan Gibson here answering these questions, wouldn't it?
send the
And I've been stood here as the target on the
A whipping
on the
boy,
thing.
as it were. But
I'll tell you, you know, we've got tapes from and what have you, and I maintain I don't know how much longer that bloody thing
well,
will go. But
as
I'm
it
quite-
stands, as you saying, in integrity, none of this looks good for GBGB as a whole for integrity issues. Rachel Corden, Curran coming here doing stuff like that.
I'm not.
Does it?
No, I'm not an apologist for the Graham Board.
Mm.
I'm not an apologist
But-
for,
but-
for myself. Let's kind of get that.
Uh,
I know where you're coming from. I 100% see where you're coming from with that. Put on the other foot, I would not be a happy person. If I am wrong about the Gorad bit, I put my hands up. I have never ever said to anyone that you are, I believe that Get Ready to Rumble and Gorak are one of the same. I believe that you are no, hold on. I believe
What
that
proof?
you
What
are
proof?
Get Ready
What
to
proof?
Rumble.
What?
Going back to me with what they have actually done up there and that, and two promoters, there's people in sport done a far less than that and been like took their livelihoods off them, but they still operating. Why is that? Is it because they're on board? Get special favours?
I
It should be seen to
I
be.
am the investigating officer. I am not the
In your
person.
opinion, do you think that's right, or should they be like made oh, hang on, we best make a show of these and say that we are up on integrity, we should actually put an hold on these as well. In your opinion, what do you think to it?
The problem with anything like this is, it always has to be, it's always one side against the other. And, you know, can we just go and I've tried to be
But in this
open.
particular case,
Am I being, there's three of you now,
Yeah.
am I being open?
To a certain extent, you know what's in that, and you won't disclose what's on
I
bottom.
don't know
of it,
I don't know what's in there.
when you
because I
wrote
can't
it, you've got
remember.
but you're asking us to remember what happened here
I know.
at the same sort of time, a month after.
I can see where you're coming from, but you want exact words. No. you have a situation where you've got a dispute, an argument, an unpleasant event. Twisted, say it, try and think of a word that everybody can agree on. And that, actually I can't. But we've got a situation up there that day when the rights and the wrongs of it, I don't know, I wasn't there to see it. But did you go up and confront Mr. Curran?
Surely won't.
complaint to me saying it's not right that your sponsors should be harassed like that because we were sat on a
Well,
table full
John
of
Curran or
sponsors.
Rachel Corden won't like, say, Betfred to go, for instance, to their track and be abused like that. Or you'd be kicked out road faster than I don't know what. And you'd be up on a charge and banned from the sport. But because they've done it in reverse, carry on, you're alright, carry on. Stinks to high heaven.
As Rachel Corden mentioned, alright. Well, so who said it? She's saying that I said it.
It's all of the, I think when, I don't know whether it was said when the tape was on, I know very little about the whys and wherefores of this when I come here. And
So what is your opinion of the events as you see it now? Without doing any more investigating.
I've got to kind of fall on the old, I can't give opinions because it's not me.
Right.
And I think
Do you
can't-
investigate it? Do you think there should be an inquiry?
that's what this is. This is part of an inquiry.
No. Are you going to call it inquiry where it will be dealt with at head office? A proper inquiry.
That is something, that decision, based on what I put in my report, and
Who makes that decision then?
Declan Donnelly.
Due to seriousness of police getting involved at an early stage before it happened, I don't say you cannot. I don't say you can't.
That's gone on my
Especially this
that
year,
had gone on my
coming on
criminal-
GBGB email address, like you've stated, it's Clive Carr at whatever at gbgb.org. It involves GBGB from start.
Mm-hmm.
How can they not call an inquiry? It's a serious nature.
I
Well, they do what they like, so it don't really matter, does it?
Well, it
Because
all
they're not
comes under-
accountable to nobody, are they?
It all comes under the Director of Regulations remit that he can decide whether there's enough evidence to warrant an inquiry.
Oh dear.
So is 5 or 6 statements not enough evidence to?
Well, if you have 5 or 6 one side
Yeah.
and you have 5 or 6 the other, and this is a question all throughout. You've got 5 or 6 there saying one thing happened. You've got 5 or 6 there saying something else happened.
How many statements has there been on other sides, for instance, or Fair Table?
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
So why not be harassed like that because we were sat on a
Well,
table full
John
of
Curran or
sponsors.
Rachel Corden won't like, say, Betfred to go, for instance, to their track and be abused like that. Or you'd be kicked out road faster than I don't know what. And you'd be up on a charge and banned from the sport. But because they've done it in reverse, Carry on, you're alright. Carry on. Stinks to high heaven.
Has Rachel Corner mentioned alright? Well, so who said it? She's saying that I said it.
It's all of the. I think when I don't know whether it was said when the tape was on. I know very little about the whys and wherefores of this when I come here. And
So what is your opinion of the events as you see it now? Without doing any more investigating.
I've got a kind of fall on the old. I can't give opinions because it's not me.
Right.
I think
Do you
can't
investigate it? Do you think there should be an inquiry?
That's what this is. This is part of an inquiry.
No. Are you going to call it inquiry where it will be dealt with at head office? A proper inquiry.
That is something. That decision, based on what I put in my report, and
Who makes that decision then?
Declan Donnelly.
Due to seriousness of police getting involved at an early stage before it happened, I don't say you cannot. I don't say you can't.
That's gone on my that ad.
Especially this here,
That had gone on my
coming on
criminal-
GBGB email address, like you've stated, it's Clive Carr at whatever at gbgb.org. It involves GBGB from the start. How can they not call an inquiry? It's a serious nature. Well, they do what they like, so it don't really matter, does it? Because they're not accountable to nobody, are they?
It all comes under the Director of Regulations remit that he can decide whether there's enough evidence to warrant an inquiry.
Oh dear.
So is 5 or 6 statements not enough evidence to?
Well, if you have 5 or 6 one side,
Yeah.
and you have 5 or 6 the other.
Mm.
And this is a question all throughout. You've got 5 or 6 there saying one thing happened. You've got 5 or 6 there saying something else happened.
How many statements has there been on the other sides, for instance, or fair table?
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
So why not?
Who Nick Wildman might be, and has supplied a photo and saying that's that Nick Wildman. Take that photo away. Go to TV Trophy because he'll be there because he works for that firm that sponsored it.
And it won't front page Racing Post.
Yeah, it's always been on Sky as well, so they know all that
He
is.
didn't have to take a photo.
And they say,
Dave
hang on.
Baldwin knows who you
Yeah.
are, and he was there.
And his wife.
Yeah.
What Dave Baldwin's wife and daughter sat at the table.
Yeah.
And
David
Dave Baldwin
Stephen.
knows me.
Was he there?
Yes, he was there.
He did dusty legs when Curran
Yeah.
were kicking off, didn't
Oh,
he?
yeah,
yeah.
Well, he
He
wobbled off on
disappeared
his hockey stick. I've
You
never said out about them
brought
too.
in
I'm on,
You're the civil.
I'm on the Graham Scene website, and I've never said anything about Rachel Corner.
I've never said I was about
John
them
Curran.
before when they come here. How much money I put into that night, even though it was Downs Roto Windows, Siddle's Roofing Supplies put most money into that night, right? And all that money I put into that night, they spoilt here. That's why I do not like them to, because they won't like it back to them if it costs them and that like that. But it's only since here that I've had a grievance with him. And because they're connected to GBGB as directors of